So I will gonna post a Google form link in your G class, so that will gonna serve as your attendance for today. So just fill out the G form. Hold on. Okay, so I have already posted the G form in your G class. Please fill out the G form. It will gonna serve as your attendance. So while I'm preparing to share my screen to you, just fill out the G form. Okay, hold on. Gazelle, before I proceed, may nagsabi ba sa'yo na absent for today?
Wala po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I know that hello, rinig niyo na ako?
Yes po.
Pawala-wala ang internet dito sa faculty, pasensya na ha. Lagi itong nangyayari pag gantong time. Okay, I did mention that I'll gonna discuss this in a more detailed manner because not numerous pero mostly naman, wait lang. Siguro mga 8 to 9 items of our midterms is galing dun sa story na Dakhan. Okay, so as part of our discussion, we will be guided by these three objectives. The first one is for you to identify the themes and ideas that are explored through the story. Next is you need to analyze how the literature from Vietnam reflects the collective memory and lasting impact of historical conflicts. So we will be focusing or we'll be using the historical lens or historical perspective in analyzing the story of Kakiko. So we need to know the background information about the history of Vietnam in order for us or for you particularly to understand why did the author Natien wrote the story of the Kakiko. So next is you need to consider on how the knowledge of context can shape or influence the students understanding and their response to the short story. So you class always encounter this term context. Can you define or what is the definition of context? Anyone? Yes, Russell.
Ma'am, ang context po ay parang kung ano po yung background or parang patungkol saan po yung pinag-usapan po or yung story po.
Very good. So just to reiterate context, this is the background information, the background knowledge or idea that you need to know. You need to know in order for you to comprehend a specific literary works or literary pieces. So, um, the kakikot, kailangan or first, you need to know the history of Vietnam in order for you to understand the item or the idea that the author natin wanted to convey to you. So that is context. So before we proceed to the story, I'm gonna introduce to you our author, which is Natien. So Natien's real name is Nguyen Natien. He is a renowned Vietnamese writer born on August 24, 1936 in Hanoi, Vietnam. So he moved to Saigon. Saigon during the Vietnam War, during the time that there is a division between North and South Vietnam. Saigon is the capital of South Vietnam. So he moved there in 1954 and became a notable or significant literary figure. And after the fall of Saigon in 1975, Nhat Hien left Vietnam as a boat person. So what is the boat person? This is the refugees who fled by the boat. So sa pamamagitan ng bangka, umalis sila ng kanilang bansa to prevent for being this criminal to prevent them for a discrimination against their political ideology or political beliefs. So in 1979, Nhat Hien arrived in Thailand and later on immigrating in the United States in 1981. So that is the experience of Nhat Hien during the Vietnam War. So Nhat Hien at the first place wanted to show and convey what really happens, what is the effect of the Vietnam War towards to the Vietnamese people. That is his main goal. Excuse me. That is his main goal, to unveil the impact, the remnants of the war towards Vietnamese people. But aside from that, what do you think is the other intention of Nhat Hien in writing the story of Kakeko? Anyone? How about you, Jerry? Any idea? Jeremy?
Hello po. Sorry po, kakabalik ko lang po. Ano po yun?
What is the other intention of Nhat Hien in writing the story of Kakeko? Jeremy, narinig mo ba ako?
Ano po?
Nakamute ka.
Sorry po. Pero, di ko po sure eh.
Okay lang, as long as you express. It's based on your opinion and understanding.
Yung question nyo po ba is about the author po? Why did the author write a short story
Yes.
po?
His
Siguro po,
intention.
para malaman po ng lahat, siguro po yung nangyari po nung post-war nung Vietnam po. Yung mga survival po, ganun, something.
Okay, thank you so much, Jeremy. So, aside from that, so yes, to make other people fully aware on what happened, the impact or the aftermath of the war towards the Vietnamese people. But aside from that, excuse me, Nhat Hien wanted to warn us about what will gonna happen when there is a war or when the war is actually affecting our country. Not only in Vietnam, but it was applicable in all the countries. So that is Nhat Hien wanted us to know. So since you have already known our author for today, we were gonna go ahead and I'm gonna provide to you the context or historical context. We were going to explore the historical context of the story. I'm gonna provide to you a basic information or knowledge of what happened regarding with the Vietnam War. So Vietnam War, this is a conflict. Actually, this is the result or the consequence of a conflict between the North and the South Vietnam. It's actually lasted from 1954 to 1975. So the Viet Cong, which is the ally of the North Vietnam, they have been supported by the Russian and the Chinese. Why? Because the Viet Cong or the North Vietnam wanted to spread communism in their country. They wanted to unify. Di ba sabi ko kanina, Vietnam was divided into two regions, the North and the South Vietnam. The Viet Congs and the North Vietnamese or the North Vietnam communist government wanted to unify Vietnam into one country. However, South Vietnam is against with it. They wanted democracy. That's why they have been supported by the United States in order for the US to prevent the spread of communism in our or in Vietnam, in South Vietnam, and also in Southeast Asia particularly. So during that time, North Vietnam, it has been led by Ho Chi Minh, and the South Vietnam led by Bao Dai. So there is a division between North and South Vietnam. It was marked by this 17 parallel demarcation. It's provided information based or it's provided information about the geographical territory, yung mga hangganan ng teritoryo ng North and South Vietnam. However, although South Vietnam do have the support of US, the US gave them 500,000 troops or soldiers, but still um, South Vietnam, they did not the North Communist government of Vietnam successfully unified Vietnam during that time. So this conflict, it's actually resulted to a significant casualties. Millions of non-civilians and soldiers or Vietnamese soldiers died, as well as 58,000 American troops. So yun yung nangyari, yun yung naging epekto ng war towards sa Vietnam. I always mention about communism, about ideology of Vietnam because that is the reason why there is a Vietnam War. So the North Vietnamese, they wanted to impose communism. So do you have any idea about communism? Aside from the information that I have here in my presentation, what is your idea, even if basic idea about communism? Yumi. Rinig niyo ba ako o 8? Baka kasi wala na namang internet.
Rinig po.
Okay. Yumi? Go ahead.
Ma'am, pwede pong paulit po ng question po.
What is your idea about communism?
About ano po?
Communism. Yumi, hindi kita marinig. I'm gonna go back to you later. How about you, Warren? Mamaya ka, Edsel. Warren.
Ano po, ang idea ko po about communism is yung property po na meron ng bansa po ay communalism, hindi po parang ng kada Parang,
Okay, so in regards to the property in the nation, nawala ka Warren. I think mahina ang internet. But I'm gonna proceed with Edsel.
Ma'am, yung communism po, ang alam ko po is para po siyang ideology where yung mga resources po is owned by a community or the state po.
Okay, very good. So communism, this is actually an ideology. Ideology siya, political ideology. It was crafted or theorized by Karl Marx, in published in the Communist Manifesto during the Industrial Revolution in Great Britain 1700s. So communism, this is based on the principle of greater equality, meaning there is an equitable distribution of wealth among the nation's citizens. So the government or the public domain of the country do have the 100% of control regarding with their economy or the source of production. Naiintindihan na ba kung ano ang communism? Kindly react nga. Kindly hard react if naiintindihan na is a classless society. There is no mayaman, there is no mahirap. All of them are equal. So that is the ideology that those Vietcong or North Vietnamese is fighting for. Kaya sila nakipaggera because of this ideology. They wanted a greater equality between um, their citizen. However, South Vietnam naman, they wanted to impose democracy. So we all know that democracy on which the power is handed to the hand of a majority or the people is in the power. Tulad we have like what we have here in the Philippines. So however, all through the time that's why I put socialism here because right now Vietnam is not they do not impose communism in an absolute manner. Um, they impose socialism as their political and economic system. Although socialism it has or it is somehow identical with communism, they are different when it comes to the severity. So socialism, yes, the government was still or the government to have the greater control in the source of production. However, they gave a right to their citizen to have a private ownership or private property. So yun yung socialism. So these are the political ideology that those Vietcongs is fighting for. That's why there is a Vietnam War because of this political ideology. And because of that, Nat Yen wanted us to know on what will gonna happen once a war or kapag ang isang gera is nangyari. And in that simple, like that kind of ideology, it was highlighted na although we can see that there is somehow a they emphasize that the greater community will gonna be benefited by this ideological perspective. The impact of the war, it has a negative effect towards the general welfare of the people, and it was highlighted in the short story of the Kakikot. Why? Because because based on our character analysis, our protagonist or the actions of the character in the story reflects the social condition of the time. So regarding with the socio-economic condition of the Vietnam during that time, as you have read, they dig graves or they dig the graves of those dead people, retrieve those commodified things or items like nakakikot and then sell it in order for them to provide. So that kind of action reflect the socio-economic condition of the time, and that is an indicative of a economic struggle for those people in Vietnam. That is one of the aftermaths or remnants of the war highlighted by Nat Yen in the story of the Kakikot. And because of that, he wanted to know about the situation, just like your classmate says kanina, the situation of the Vietnamese people after the Vietnam War. So aside from the character analysis, the action of the character that highlighted by Nat Yen also utilized symbolism as a literary device. So symbolism, this is a technique used by the writer. They use things, usually the physical or the physical object. So this object represents something that is more abstract. Like for example, what we have here is the kaki code. So based on your readings on understanding O7, um, what is the symbolism of the kaki code in the story? Ernest. Ernest. Wait ka lang, Russell, ha?
Ma'am, ma'am, pwedeng pa ulit po yung tanong.
What is the symbolism of the kaki code in the story? What does this kaki code symbolize in the story? Okay, balikan kita mamaya, Ernest, ha? Go ahead, Russell.
Para po sa akin, ang sinisimbolize po ng Kaki Code ay aftermath po ng war. Kasi po, yung part pa lang po na kung saan may nadig na Kaki Code or old uniform ng soldier means na may war po na naganap and may mga soldier po na namatay.
Okay, very good. So, aftermath of the war. Next, Ernest.
Ma'am, ano po, siguro po para sa akin, ang sinisimbolize po ng capital is, una po is yung pride, since yun nga po, sinod po siya ng mga, ano natin, sinod po siya nung ng war. And ang isa rin pong sinisimbolize niya ay yung loss po, or yung pagkawala po, since namatay na nga po yung nagsuot.
Very good. So, aftermath of the war, pride, loss, or death. Next, Yumi.
Mamarinig na po.
Yes.
Ano po, parang symbolize po niya is yung desperation po sa survival po ng mga tao.
Very good. Survival, desperation, survival against poverty. Shaina.
Yung loss, yung
Okay, so I think that is something that is related or katulad ng kay Ernest. So, putting it into the context or highlighting your answer, discussing it one by one. This Kaki code symbolize the aftermath of the war, the remnants, yung mga natira, the remnants of the war, loss and death, trauma and memory, poverty and hardship. So war and its aftermath, the Kaki codes highlights the remnants of the war on how the past continue, on particularly on how that war continue to affect the present. So the Kaki code, it's actually deeply, or it was still it was still associated with military uniforms. That's why it's also served as a powerful symbol of the remnants of the war. Aside from that, those people who are the victim of the war, the conflicts because of the war, it's actually symbolizes by the capital. So next is the survival and poverty, the market, yung chaotic market, and how does Nadine describe or use the descriptive words to describe the chaotic market at the first part of the story. It actually depicts the struggle for the survival, yung sinabi din ni Yumi. It's actually depicts the struggle for survival in a society marked by poverty and scarcity. So kanina, I have mentioned to you that the Vietcong or the North Communist government of Vietnam wanted to impose or wanted to adapt to the communism as their political ideology and economic system, right? And in the economic system of communism, we all know that they believe in a greater equality of the wealth distribution for their citizens. So based on the story, it was unveiled by the author that although those Vietcong or Northern Vietnamese wanted that kind of government or economic system, still not all of the Vietnamese people is benefited by those beliefs and principle. Why? Because of the struggle, because of the economic hardship that those people experience at the first part of the story, because of they need to dig up a commodified item from the grave just to survive. They do not have a chance to mourn for their loved ones who have been a victim of the war. So the kahikot also symbolize survival and poverty. And last is self-explanatory, loss and memory. So the quote also symbolized loss and memory as it once belonged to someone who is no longer alive. Yung sinabi din kanina ni Edsel na the kahikot is also associated with being a military uniform. So it also symbolizes of pride and heroism. Naiintindihan pa ba yung sinasabi ko dito? Naiintindihan pa ba ng lahat?
Yes po.
Okay. So, proceeding on our setting and context, the story also reveals something about the early days of the Vietnamese socialist or communist government. So, I have already mentioned that the early days of the Vietnamese socialist government, on which on the story it revolves around the girl who supports his or her younger sibling by selling items that she digs up from the graveyard. And this is an indicative that not all of the people in Vietnam is benefited by that kind of government, because hindi naman kasi lahat ng Vietnamese people during that time is do have the means. I'm not saying that means, but the proper means in order for them to survive. So that is the early days of the Vietnamese socialist government. More on showcasing the socio-economic status, which is economic struggle, yung paghihirap, showcasing those lost memories, traumas of those Vietnamese people because of the war. Because kung sa atin kaya mangyari yun, I think mas malala pa doon yung hirap na pagdadaanan natin. That's why it's also a way of Natien to warn not only the Vietnamese people but also other nation or other country. So proceeding to our last part of the story, when our protagonist was carried to the police station, she defended herself, saying that we are now living in a socialist country. Materialism is being upheld and idealism is being attacked. Only those whose minds are idealistic would think that to dig up a grave is to violate a dead person's soul. As for me, I earn my living by my own labor. I do not only take in what was buried in the grave, what had been discarded by our society. Furthermore, I have used the profit I made to bring up my sibling, which means that by this kind of labor, I reared two children who belong to the next generation and in whose hand will lie the fate of our socialist country. So based on the passage, based on this statement of the girl, do you agree that the girl or that the protagonist in the story is totally innocent or not? Analyzing this passage, utilizing cultural and historical lens or perspective of Vietnam, do you believe that the girl or the protagonist of the story is totally innocent? Anyone? Let's try with Sean, Michael. Sean Michael, andyan ka pa ba?
Hello po.
Hello. Do you believe that the girl is innocent? Analyzing this passage based on the historical and cultural perspective of Vietnam.
Para sa akin po is, wait lang. Dep, Ma'am, inosente po kasi po ano, hmm, kung ano po dahil po sa feel ko po dahil po sa ano ginawa niya naman po yun para po sa kanila po na sa kanya ano po, tawag dito, para po sa kanyang mga kapatid. Pero in a way po parang hindi rin po kasi.
Bakit? Go ahead.
Oo, kasi ano po, parang hindi rin po dahil po sa mali rin naman po yung gawa po ng gano'ng bagay dahil po ng kumukuha po ng gamit sa mga naka-ano na po, eh, parang disrespectful din po kasi yung gano'n, yun lang.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much for that. Mamaya ako mag-elaborate. Other answer or other idea? Lazel, andyan ka ba? Andyan ka pa ba?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, how about you?
Parang morally,
Hello, Lazel.
hello po, rinig po ba?
Nag-choppy siya. Okay, babalikan kita later, Lazel, ha? How about the others? Volunteer na. Raise your hand if you want to answer. Trisha.
Hello po, ma'am. Ako ba?
Oo, ikaw.
Ano po, for me po, innocent po siya kasi nag-act lang po siya sa kung ano po yung tingin niya pong tama po. Binenta niyo, ay kinuha po niya yung coat po at binenta kasi tingin niya po, yun po yung tama para po mapakain po yung pong mga kapatid niya. Parang desperate na po siya sa mga nangyayari po sa kanya, yung mga problema po na hinaharap po nila because gawa po ng war po.
Okay, very good. So you are more on the practical side or practical speaking side kasi that is the only mean of our current. Aliana.
Ay, para po sa akin ay innocent din po yung girl po. Kasi po, kung base po dun sa panahon po nila, innocent po siya dahil she appears unaware po dun sa deeper meaning po nung ninakaw po niya na quote. And yung inosente po niya is parang dala lang po nung understanding niya po dun sa quote, hindi po dun sa deeper meaning, kundi sa tingin po niya na mabebenta niya po yun and makakatulong po sa kanila. And yung pagiging inosente po niya is nagpapakita lang po ng kung ano po yung understanding niya lang po dun sa sitwasyon.
Okay, right. Ikaw naman is more on the materialistic side naman ng story. Kasi, the girl, they just dig up. You know, it's a simple of digging up a valuable item from the grave and sell it to the market. So, since nagkakapares din kayo ng answer ni Trisha, more on a materialistic way of getting the coffee coat. Hindi siya tumitingin sa deeper meaning nito. What I mean sa sinisimbolo nito. Because the girl just wanted to survive, just wanted to provide for her family or for her siblings. Next, Jake. Sunod ka, Shane.
Um, Hello po. Naglalag po ba ako?
Okay naman, yeah.
Uh, for me, I don't think she's innocent because the truth is you violated the grave of a person who's trying to make the country better. And even if it's not a person that protected the country, it's still kind of wrong to violate a person's grave. If you really need the resources, maybe you can take it, but at other times you could then try to repair what you have done later on actually when you're actually well off. You have to repair what you have done wrong in the past so that you could go on in the future without any more debts to the past.
Okay, again, thank you so much, Jake, for that. Nate, next, yung tumaas kanina. Shane?
Para sa akin po, culturally, ang grave robbing po ay parang nakaka-violate po sa Vietnamese cultural values kaya sa akin po hindi po siya inosente. Pero in terms po historically, inosente po siya kasi po yun nga po sa mga pinagdaanan niya, kailangan niya pong pumayad para pakainin po yung mga kapatid niya.
Very good. So that is the correct answer. Yes, analyzing the story in a cultural perspective of Vietnam, the girl is not innocent. Why? Digging grave of someone who already dead in Vietnam is a taboo. It's a sign of disrespect. That is also the answer of Shan kanina. That is a sign of disrespect. Kaya in that manner, the girl is not innocent. However, nasan ba ang girl? Di ba nasa police station? Police station is a part of the government. And the girl, she had been tried in the court, and using this kind of statement as a defense is actually made her innocent because during that time, where politically speaking, Vietnam is already into the process of adapting to the communist government, socialist government, which is they are focusing most in the materialism aspect kung saan mas mahalaga sa kanila na makasurvive yung kanilang mga citizen, yung mga tao, in order for that citizen to support their socialist or communist government in the future. That's why analyzing this passage, we're gonna get two different answers when we use two different lenses. Kasi magkakaiba talaga yan. Kaya very good dun sa mga nakasagot. That is the end of our discussion regarding with the Kaki Code. I hope na natutunan nyo or nakita nyo yung essence on why does Natian wanted us to study this short story. And also, aside from that, is there any question, clarification about our discussion for today? Can your heart react kung wala na? Okay, or is there a question regarding with the activities? Regarding with the course, midterms, wala na naman. Okay. So don't you worry, lahat ng isasali ko sa midterms is lahat lang ng story na na-discuss. But aside from the schoolboy psychology kasi ang schoolboy psychology is I have already instructed you to analyze that one. So meaning may knowledge na kayo about that. Aside from that, and I'm gonna provide you a hands out and also the focus of the review. A hands out para hindi kayo mangapa during the board exam. So again, I'm gonna dismiss this class ng maaga since ito naman is filler lang. Again, thank you so much for those people na nag-participate and yeah, bye for now.
Thank you po. Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
And also
po.
pala, wait lang, wala tayong quiz before midterms. So babawi tayo ng quiz after midterms na. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye rin.